Top 3 night of the Blood Grizzlies. The sound was like a freight train charging through the trees. Branches snapped. Heavy paws thundered across the forest floor. Dr. Emily Hayes didn't have time to scream before the massive shadow lunged out of the darkness. She stumbled backward, her flashlight trembling wildly in her hand as she caught the shine of enormous eyes reflecting the beam. The bear's roar shook the night air, a deep primal force that vibrated through her bones. Somewhere behind her, Noah yelled her name, telling her to run, but her legs wouldn't move. The creature stood taller than any grizzly she'd ever seen. Thick fur, shoulders as wide as a doorway, breath steaming in the cold night. It wasn't just a bear, it felt like something older, angrier. A guardian awakened. The beast charged. And then, hours earlier, the forest had been quiet, almost peaceful. Emily and her team, Noah Carter, a seasoned ranger, Lily Monroe, a wildlife biology student, and Marcus Green, a documentary cameraman, were gathered around a campfire deep within Alaska's Harrow Ridge Reserve. The sun was setting slowly behind the towering pines, staining the sky a cold red. They weren't supposed to be here. The area had been marked as restricted. Too many bear-related fatalities. Rangers called the place Red Hollow, a natural feeding zone where carcasses from migrations often drew dozens of hungry grizzlies at once. Not just any bears, territorial ones. But Emily believed this research could help protect hikers in the future. She wanted to understand behavioral patterns and GPS tag a few roaming males before winter. We set traps in the wrong spot, Noah whispered as he examined a map. We're practically on a dinner plate. Emily brushed it off. We just need one night of recordings. Then we'll be out before sunrise. Marcus filmed the nervous exchange, his camera light sweeping over the darkening woods. Come on, this is the kind of edge that makes documentaries go viral. Lily shivered and wrapped her arms around herself. Red Hollow. Why do they call it that? Emily hesitated, then answered truthfully. Nature can be violent. Predators gathering in one place, the aftermath can look disturbing. Noah threw a small log into the fire, sparks lifting into the breeze like red fireflies. Grizzlies don't just eat. They defend what's theirs, even from each other. A distant roar rolled through the valley like thunder. The fire crackled, but no one spoke. Cameras and notebooks suddenly felt flimsy and foolish. They're active tonight. Noah's voice grew tight. Really active. Marcus tried to lighten the tension. Relax, we're together. We've got flares, radios. Before he could finish, Lily's radio hissed, then cut out completely. All their equipment flickered and died. Drones, trackers, satellite phone. Dead silence replaced the hum of technology. Emily swallowed hard. That shouldn't happen. Not all at once. The forest seemed to lean closer around them. Heavy breathing, not theirs, echoed from beyond the tree lean. Something enormous was circling them. Emily raised her flashlight toward the darkness. 2 glowing eyes stared back. And then the breathing became a growl. The growl deepened, rolling through the night like a warning. Emily froze as the eyes vanished into the darkness, swallowed by the trees. For a moment, no one breathed. Even the wind seemed afraid to move. We need to get inside the tents. Now. Noah's voice was low, calm, but his hands were shaking. Marcus whispered, "Shouldn't we stay by the fire? Bears hate fire, right?" Noah didn't answer. That silence alone was enough to send chills crawling up everyone's skin. Emily forced her voice to stay steady. Pack only what we absolutely need. We're leaving before those bears decide to come closer. They scrambled, shoving equipment into bags, ripping out tent stakes with clumsy movements made worse by fear. The sky was now a sheet of black. Their headlamps felt useless, barely cutting through the thick shadows. Lily kept glancing behind her. It was big, wasn't it? Bigger than a normal grizzly? No one replied, but they were all thinking the same thing. Noah tried once more to get the radio to connect with base. Come on, static. Nothing. His jaw tightened. Something's interfering with the signal, like a block or disruption. Marcus lifted his camera again, filming out of instinct. If we make it out of this, people need to see what's happening here. Emily didn't know if that was bravery or denial, but she was grateful for any confidence at all. They moved cautiously along the forest trail, boots crunching over frost-hard leaves. Every sound felt too loud. The snap of a twig, the rustle of branches. Each one made their hearts jump. Then they heard it, a second roar, from a different direction. Lily gasped and turned toward the noise. There's more than one? Noah motioned them closer together. They travel in overlapping territories during peak feeding, he whispered. This time of year, it's dangerous to be anywhere near them. A new sound joined the night. Wet, heavy breathing. Close. Too close. Emily focused her light between two pines and saw the top of a massive brown head slowly rising from behind a fallen log. The bear lifted its snout, sniffing the air, searching for them. Its teeth glinted, not from blood, but from the cold shine of moonlight on enamel. It was powerful, ancient, and it was looking right at them. The group stood motionless. The bear's ears twitched. Then it turned and disappeared into the night. Emily exhaled shakily. Maybe it didn't. Crack. A tree about 20 yards away split down the middle, shaking violently. Something huge barreled against it from the opposite side. Marcus muttered, "They're not leaving, they're stalking." Noah pointed toward a rocky incline ahead. "There's an old ranger lookout up there. If we can make it inside, we might be safe until sunrise." Without another word, they ran, stumbling, slipping, breath burning in their lungs. The forest exploded behind them with furious roars and pounding paws. The bears weren't just chasing them now. They were hunting. Emily didn't dare look back until they reached the base of the hill, and when she did, her blood ran cold. Two massive shadows stood side by side at the tree line, watching, waiting, silent. Their eyes glowed like burning coals. And then, both shadows stepped forward at the exact same time. Emily didn't think. She just ran. Her boots scraped against a rocky slope, every step threatening to send her tumbling back down toward the monsters below. Marcus pulled Lily by the arm, urging her upward as Noah scanned the forest behind them. Flare ready to ignite. The cold wind cut through their jackets. Their breaths came out in sharp clouds. The lookout station finally appeared at the top, a small wooden shelter on stilts, its windows dark like empty eyes. Noah sprinted ahead and shoved the door, but it didn't budge. "Locked," he hissed, slamming a shoulder into it. Emily spotted a window slightly ajar. "Here, help me up." Marcus clasped his hands and lifted her. Emily pushed with everything she had, forcing the swollen wood open just enough to squeeze through. She tumbled inside, landing hard on dusty floorboards. Pain shot up her arm, but adrenaline silenced it. She unlocked the door from the inside, and the others rushed in. Noah bolted the frame tight, sliding a thick beam across the door. They stood in silence, listening. The roars had stopped. Only the wind remained. Marcus flicked his flashlight around the cabin. Tin cans, a rusted stove, scattered ranger logs, and deep claw marks ripped across the walls. Long, deep gouges. Not fresh, but not old either. Lily hugged herself. Someone else was here. Noah's voice dropped. Not someone. Something. Emily checked the windows. The glass was cracked in several places, like something had once punched straight into them. Marcus swallowed hard. "Do you think this place is safe?" Before anyone could answer, a heavy thud shook the ground beneath them. Another, and another, like footsteps the size of nightmares. Emily's heart hammered, so hard it hurt. "They followed us." The cabin creaked as something enormous brushed against the stilts below. Then came the sound of claws dragging along the wood. Slow, deliberate, like the bears were testing the cabin's strength. Lily whimpered and backed into a corner. Marcus kept filming, though his hands were trembling violently now. "How can they still be out there?" he whispered. "It's been hours. Shouldn't they be settling down to feed?" Noah stared through a slit in the boarded-up window. Not if we're the only prey around. Silence fell again, so complete it made their ears ring. Then, thump, something slammed into the support beam. The entire floor jolted, nearly throwing him off balance. Dust rained from the ceiling. Emily tried to calm herself. Grizzlies don't normally coordinate attacks. But Noah shook his head. These aren't normal grizzlies. I've tracked bears for 15 years. They don't stalk like wolves. They don't work together. They don't wait. Emily felt a chill colder than the Alaskan night sweep over her. Then what are they? The answer came in the form of a roar directly beneath them, so loud the boards vibrated under their boots. Marcus jerked back from the window in panic. It's trying to knock us down. Wood cracked. The cabin leaned. The bears hit the supports again. The whole world tilted. Lily screamed, grabbing onto a table as the lookout swayed dangerously. Noah shouted, "If they bring this place down, we're done." Another violent impact, louder than before, echoed up through the floor. Emily looked into Noah's terrified eyes and saw the truth. They were running out of time. The next hit might be the last. And then below them, everything went silent. Silence can be worse than any roar. It was the kind of silence that felt planned, a quiet made for fear. Emily held her breath, listening. No footsteps, no growls, no scratching. It was as if the forest itself were holding still. Noah pressed his ear against the floorboards, brow furrowed. "They're still there," he whispered. "They're waiting for us to make the next move." Lily trembled beside the window. Why aren't they leaving? Bears aren't supposed to do this. Noah didn't answer because the real explanation terrified him more than the question. Marcus kept recording, though now his voice cracked every time he spoke. "We need to find a way to warn others. If those bears are acting like this, more people could die." Emily checked their dead radios and phones again. No signal. Batteries full. But something was blocking them. She scanned the ranger logs scattered across the dusty desk. Pages torn, ink smudged. But one sheet caught her eye, newer, written in hurried pen. "If you hear them stop, run." Her mouth went dry. "Guys, look at this." Before they could react, a long creaking sound echoed beneath them, with groaning under pressure, strained to its limits. The bears weren't gone. They were repositioning. They were learning. Emily rushed to the window, searching the darkness. Moonlight glinted off something below, first shifting between trees. She counted 2 shapes, then a third. They'd been joined by another. Lily stepped back, whispering, "They're multiplying." Noah grabbed a flare from his pack. "If they bring down these stilts, this cabin collapses. When they rush in, we're done. Our only chance is to move while we still can." Emily nodded. "We aim for the ranger trail, on the far side of the hill. If we can make it there, maybe we can reach the ranger station before sunrise." Marcus swallowed hard. "And if we can't?" No one answered. Noah kicked open the back window. Cold air blasted inside. He lit the flare, red smoke erupting like blood into the night. The bears roared in response, shadows rushing toward the hill. Emily screamed, "Go!" One by one, they slid out and dropped to the ground, sprinting toward the trail. The flare's glow flickered wildly as Noah ran behind them, trying to keep the creatures distracted. The forest roared back to life. Snapping branches, pounding paws, furious snarls shaking the earth. The bears charged, faster than any of them imagined possible. Marcus tripped, falling to his knees. Emily grabbed his jacket and yanked him up just as a massive paw slammed into the dirt where he'd been seconds before. Splinters of bark sprayed across their faces as a tree was ripped apart beside them. The group stumbled into the open clearing where the ranger trail began, a narrow path carved through pine and rock. The sky was just beginning to lighten, the faintest gray hint of dawn. "We're almost there." Emily gasped, but Noah wasn't with them. She spun around. He was still halfway across the clearing. Flare dying in his hand, a massive grizzly standing directly between him and safety. Its muscles bunched, breath fog in the air. Noah met Emily's eyes. "Run," he yelled. "Don't stop." The bear lunged. Emily screamed his name. Marcus dragged her, forcing her forward. Lily sobbed, sprinting blindly into the trees. Behind them, the forest exploded with furious roars. The sun rose slowly. But the nightmare wasn't over, because as they fled down the trail, Emily heard it. More heavy breathing, more claws tearing into the ground. There weren't just 3. There were many, and they were closing in,